The puppeteers behind Boris Johnson and Lindsey Graham. In the realm of politics, Machiavellian maneuvers often lurk beneath the surface, orchestrating complex webs of power and influence. In recent times, two figures have emerged from the shadows, allegedly entangled in a sinister dance orchestrated by their puppet masters. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and Lindsey Graham, a prominent American senator, stand accused of serving as pawns in a grander scheme orchestrated by elusive forces. Through a Machiavellian lens, their actions reveal a calculated pursuit of self-interest, intertwined with the agendas of their purported masters. At the heart of the allegations lies a gruesome reality. The blood of thousands of Ukrainians and Russian soldiers stains the hands of Boris Johnson. Accusations abound that he cynically views the conflict in Ukraine as a means to enrich his masters, the Rothschilds. The narrative paints Johnson as a cunning manipulator, playing a high-stakes game to line the pockets of his unseen benefactors. Such accusations depict him as a puppet, dancing to the tune of his wealthy overlords while callously disregarding the human cost of his actions. Central to this narrative is the notion of Johnson's perceived intellect. Critics suggest that he views himself as superior, believing his devious strategies to be beyond the comprehension of the masses. Yet, in their eyes, his machinations are transparent, akin to a child's game of deception. This portrayal underscores the Machiavellian nature of Johnson's alleged actions, a calculated effort to maintain a facade of competence while advancing his own interests and those of his unseen masters. Similarly, Lindsey Graham finds himself ensnared in allegations of serving the interests of the neocons and the cabal, entities synonymous with clandestine power and influence. Described as a man willing to sell his mother for his interests, Graham embodies the archetype of the Machiavellian player, driven solely by personal gain. Calls for a forensic accounting of his accounts echo the sentiment that his actions are not driven by principle or ideology but rather by a relentless pursuit of power and wealth. The notion of Johnson and Graham as assets of the Rothschilds and the cabal, respectively, further underscores the Machiavellian scope of their alleged involvement. In the eyes of their critics, these figures serve as mere instruments, manipulated by shadowy forces to further their own agendas. Putin's interview, cited as evidence of Johnson's ties to the Rothschilds, adds fuel to the fire, reinforcing the narrative of a grand conspiracy orchestrated by powerful elites. At its core, the accusations leveled against Boris Johnson and Lindsey Graham epitomize the Machiavellian dynamics inherent in modern politics. Their actions, driven by self-interest and subservience to unseen masters, paint a grim portrait of a world where power and influence reign supreme. As the allegations continue to unfold, one cannot help but wonder, are Johnson and Graham merely pawns in a larger game or willing participants in a Machiavellian dance of deception and manipulation? Only time will tell.